September is Chiari Malformation Awareness Month. With that being said, I'm going to talk all about advocating for yourself being diagnosed with Chiari Malformation because, to be honest, a lot of doctors and neurologists don't know a lot about Chiari Malformation and they kind of brush you off, and I know from experience. This is going to be a longer video, so I'm only going to put part of it on here. The rest of it's going to be on my YouTube, which is linked in my bio, so if you want to watch the full video, go over there. I'm probably going to have it posted either later tonight or tomorrow morning because I do have plans today, so we'll see. Okay, so let's get started. Say that you're somebody that has been having weird symptoms with your brain. You've been having really bad crushing headaches in the base of your skull. You just feel like something's not right. Your head feels full and heavy. Your vision is changing. You're starting to feel numbness and tingling in your hands and feet. You're just having all these weird symptoms where it just feels like something is wrong with your brain. First of all, going to the ER, for the most part, they won't do anything. You need to be diagnosed with Chiari Malformation through an MRI, through a cervical MRI, or just like a full back MRI. For the most part, ERs do not do MRIs. They do CT scans only, and you can't really tell from a CT scan. Book an appointment with your doctor, your primary care doctor. Say that there's something going on with your head. Most of the time they're like, it's stress, it's anxiety, you're overweight, it's a migraine, you're fine. Or in my situation, when I was in high school, I've had nonstop headaches for weeks and it was like debilitating. So I went to the doctor. My doctor told me that my ponytail was too tight and that I'm young and healthy and there's nothing wrong with me. With that being said, I was so embarrassed. I did not go back to the doctor for years, even though I was having so much pain right here in the back of my head. I started having so many more symptoms to the point where I knew something was wrong. There was times where I would like fall asleep anywhere. I was riding on the back of someone's motorcycle once and legit was starting to fall asleep. My head felt so heavy and full. It felt like I had so much pressure in my head. My eyes were feeling like they were bulging out of my head. I would be all like off balance and dizzy all the time. I would run into things. I started losing vision in one of my eyes and I started losing feeling in my hands and my feet. Mostly like numbness and tingling in my hands and feet. But then at one point I started to lose almost full feeling in my right hand and I would start to drop cups and everything. So I said, forget this. I'm going into the doctor again. Something's wrong. I know my body. This is not right. I went in to my primary and they were like, okay, I got lucky. My primary was great. She said, yeah, that doesn't sound right. Let's get you an MRI, which I had to like really push for it because she was like, oh yeah, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but like there could be something. I'm like, she's like, we could do an MRI, but that's probably not the best option. I'm like, I want the MRI. Like, give me the MRI. Something's not right and I know it for a fact. So I got referred, got an MRI, and then it came back with a Chiari Malformation 12 millimeter herniation. So if you don't know what that is, my brain was coming out of my skull, coming out of the bottom of my skull, compressing my spinal cord, blocking CSF flow to my brain, and low-key paralyzing me. It also, people get syrinx in their spinal cord, which is a giant cyst. I only got a cervical one, so I honestly have no idea if I had a syrinx, but I wouldn't be surprised because my herniation was so large. I got recommended to a neurosurgeon, but my neurologist, I had a stupid, annoying neurologist. She was the one that was like, at first, it was migraines. And then I went to a different neurologist because I'm like, screw you, you're annoying. So I went to a second one. She took me seriously and she recommended me to a neurosurgeon because my other doctor was like, you don't need surgery. Like, it's a really invasive surgery. It's kind of like, there's no point, blah, 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 yada, yada. She didn't even know what it was, okay? Mind you, after I got my MRI, I got the results before my neurologist did. So I was reading it, and at first I skipped right over it, and I was like, great, there's nothing wrong with my brain. I was hypochondriac, whatever. And then I reread it, and it said, Chiari 1 malformation. And I was like, wait a minute, that could be something. So I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's something. Also, I have all these symptoms, so this explains a lot. So I'm going to take some steps back because I realized that I kind of jumped all over the place. So in order, this is how it went. I knew something was wrong with my brain. I went to my primary. My primary said, yeah, there could be something wrong. She sent me to a neurologist because I don't think she could order the MRI. And this is what I can remember. It's been a few years. So I went to a neurologist. That neurologist was like, it's probably migraines. You're fine. You're young. You're healthy. Blah, blah, blah. Once again, she gave me migraine medication. I was still very in denial. And I'm like, I want an MRI. Like, please give me an MRI. And she was so hesitant. I don't know why. It's my money. It's my body. Just give me the freaking MRI. She's like, fine. Ordered me the MRI. Came back, Chiari 1 malformation. I'm like, okay, that's something. I emailed her right away and was like, this is something. What do I do about it? And she was like, it's kind of this big thing. You have to only get surgery to fix it, which there's no diagnosis. There's no cure. Sorry. There's no cure to Chiari malformation. You can get decompressed. It can help the symptoms, but there is no cure. Your brain will forever probably be falling out of your skull, to be honest. Sometimes you're lucky and it will stop. But she said, yeah, you have to get this big surgery. There's no point, yada, yada. I'm like, well, I want it. I want to at least look into it. Send me to a neurologist, or not a neurologist, a neurosurgeon. She's like, fine. She gave me a neurosurgeon. I saw him, whatever. Wasn't a huge fan of him, but I was like desperate to get help. I got the minimally invasive surgery. Don't do it. It didn't help me at all. They just removed skull, and it's just like, it didn't do anything for me. I don't recommend it. If they ever say, do you want this? Just say no. Go for the full duroplasty. It's way more of a recovery, way more painful, and way more invasive, but it actually helps for the most part. So after that, I ended up getting the minimally invasive surgery 2 weeks later. Once again, don't do it. Symptoms were great when I woke up. A week later, they were back. So I went to a different neurologist because I didn't trust my other one. That new neurologist was great. I got referred to a neurosurgeon in Seattle, which was a specialist in Chiari malformation. His name is Dr. Ellenbogen. He was fantastic. Great guy, super sweet, great bedside manner, great surgeon, whatever. Got that surgery, and it was rough. I was in the hospital for 5 days because I did have 2 seizures waking up from the anesthesia, which when I got my first brain surgery, I had also some weird seizure stuff. They don't know why it happens. My brain is just super sensitive. It's not, nobody really gets that except for me. I don't know. I'm sure other people do, but in my situation, it was very random. It was very concerning. I still have seizures, but I haven't had them in 3 years. So I think that they're more of a triggered seizure. And so I got the duroplasty where they removed a piece of my skull. They cut into the dura. They made a duroplasty out of a piece of something inside my skull. And they actually shrunk my cerebral tonsils up out of my spinal canal using electricity, those TENS units, and it was like that. So it shocked my brain and it shrunk it up. And I do have pictures which are on my TikTok, and it regained a bunch of CSF flow. The herniation was way smaller, and I went years with no symptoms. Recently I started getting kind of those base of the skull headaches back again, unfortunately, but I still to this day have great feeling in my hands and feet. I don't have the numbness and tingling. I'm a little bit more balanced, and the big symptoms, which were the feelings and losing feeling and feeling like I'm going paralyzed, those have never came back. And that's all I really care about. The headaches I can manage based off hydration, sleep, stuff like that. They get worse and not worse. So that's all for now. I will post more about this if you're interested, but please, please, please advocate for yourself, and you have to be stern with whatever person you're talking to, because they brush off Chiari like it's nothing, and it's not their body, it's yours. You know something's wrong, and not a lot of people know about Chiari malformation, which is why I want to raise awareness to it. So please, 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 if you have to be an a-hole to your doctor, just do it. At the end of the day, it is your body, okay? So I hope this helps. If you want me to make videos on anything else, please let me know. I am very open to everything. I'll give details about everything. I just want to help other people with Chiari malformation and find their diagnosis.